All right. Settle down, settle up. Let's settle down this meeting. All right. Show of hands. Who here has heard of Disney XD? Yeah, that's what I thought. Way back in the 2010s, Disney was already growing a cable channel called the Disney Channel. Here's a problem though. Look, come close, come close. The shows are garbage. Jesse, more like messy jokes that I don't laugh at. Bunked was absolute trash. I could not get to a single minute of the episode without hearing those annoying laugh tracks. None of the jokes are funny. Explain to me why this joke is funny. But Phineas and Ferb was cool. That's like the only good show I watched in the Disney Channel. Out of like the a billion bad ones. Then the executives at Disney saw that boys didn't watch the channel unless if Phineas and Ferb was on. And so that was the birth of Disney XD, where masculine shows were born. The shows included on Disney XD were Wander Over Yonder, Gravity Falls, Kick Buttowski, Suburban Daredevil, and the show we're talking about today, Randy Cunningham, Ninth Grade Ninja. Cue the intro! For those of you wondering, Randy Cunningham, Ninth Grade Ninja is about Randy Cunningham, who is in ninth grade and is a ninja. Come on, guys, catch up. The show was created by Scott Thomas and Jet Elnoff, and the decision of making the main character a ninja was because way back in the 1980s, ninjas were all the craze, so they decided to throw some nostalgia in, you know? The show's premise is simple. Normal day of high school, villains plot something, a book of wisdom called the Ninjanomicon tells Randy advice, Randy's oblivious to the advice and doesn't take it seriously, he gets his ass whooped, learns what the Nomicon was actually trying to say, and saves the day, rinse and repeat, and that's how you get a two-season show. Looking at the cast, this show has a huge ensemble. We have Ben Schwartz voicing Randy, who now voices Sonic in the new Sonic movies, and Leo in The Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Randy's best friend Howard is voiced by Andrew Lewis Caldwell, the school principal is voiced by Dean Craig from Community, and the villains are voiced by the legends John DiMaggio, and the man, the myth, the Frankfurter, Tim Curry, and Viceroy, who is the absolutely best character in the show, one of the best characters in media, period. Like, you really need to watch the show just because of Viceroy. Take my advice, please, you will not regret it. In season 1, Randy in the show starts off as carefree, calm, energetic, and I think he has ADHD, and spends time with his best friend Howard. He does show some signs of improvement as a ninja throughout the show's run, but it all comes together in the season finale. Most of the threats in the entire show started by Hannibal McFist, who DiMaggio voices, trying to make a robot to destroy the ninja, and those robots are built by Pookie Viceroy. One of the funniest interactions in this show is the banter between McFist and Viceroy. It's honestly comedy gold. Like, listen to this.
You have reached Viceroy. I can't get to the phone because I'm attempting to enjoy the only day of vacation my unethical boss gives me each year. Leave a message after the tone. Tone.
The other threats are when something super embarrassing happens to a student and the sorcerer, voiced by Curry, detects the negative emotions and turns those set emotions insane, causing the students to turn into creatures. Like, for example, let's say you're walking down the hall, then a bully pulls on your pants and then everybody sees you in your underwear, and then you start crying down the hall. And then the sorcerer is like, oh yeah, I detect some embarrassment here. Let me just make some magic and poof, track the student who got shamed. And then you get hit with what the show calls the stank. And then suddenly those emotions of embarrassment and anger for the bully turn you into a giant monster, and now all you want is revenge for the bully. And then like the thing that made you like embarrassed in the first place, like the only way to destroy it. Another thing that happens throughout the show and the first season is that there are some slang in the show like Bruce, Cheese, Shoob, Wonk. I get that they're annoying at first when you hear it in this video, but the more you watch the show, the more you get comfortable with it. Trust me. The first season is formulaic and repetitive, but some episodes do make up. The Sorceress episodes are fun, and the Part 2 episode is my favorite of the entire show. Halfway through the first season, we get a love interest called Teresa, voiced by Haley from Modern Family. And to be frank with you, this couple is how you do a couple in an animated show. The couple doesn't feel forced, and they're both calm when they're around each other, and their chemistry is honestly great. Like, every single time whenever they're together, it doesn't feel like they're forced or they're like, oh, I have to hang out with this guy or like I have to hang out with this girl. No, they actually are kind of love shy of each other. They're afraid to admit their feelings. And there's even one episode Randy even like becomes like, how do I say this? he uses the ninja Namicon. Then a Namicon is like, if you don't have the Namicon, you like become like a bad person, and then that bad person turns into reality, hops out of the Namicon, and like enters the real world, and he hits on another girl in front of Teresa, and then Randy finds out that he's been a jerk to her, and then he gives her like tulips as a form of love, and that's kind of basically how their relationship kind of like begins in the show. Like that's amazing. It's amazing. Trust me. Plus, Teresa's like the only person Randy doesn't hurt whenever she becomes a monster. Like, no, it's not like he doesn't hit girls. He's hit a whole bunch of girls that turn into monsters, but Teresa's like the only person he hasn't hurt when she turns into a monster. Like if that's not a sign that they both like each other, then I don't know what is. And speaking of ships, Randy and Harold's relationship in this show are kind of mid. I get that there are some shows that do bad, like, best friend relationships, but man, I don't know, like, this is kind of questionable. There are some times where they act like genuine friends, like they help each other out, they become bros. But then there are also episodes where like Randy has to do some hero stuff. He has to save people, and then Howard's just like intervening with it. He's like, "Nah, I'm not missing my chance to have a free hot dog." Like literally, there was one episode where Harold was spilling gossip, and then he was willingly trying to exploit Randy's identity as the ninja just for fame. Like seriously, man. Also, let's talk about the season finale. The season finale is whenever McFist and Viceroy build a time machine so that McFist can go back in time to eat a breakfast cereal that has been discontinued from his childhood, like everybody would.
Where'd the time machine go? Not where. When? Fine. When did the time machine go? Just now. Didn't you see it?
And then Randy and Howard sneak into his office because they have a field trip in his building, and then they use a time machine, and then they go to the 13th century, where they find out the first ever ninja to be turned from the Ninja Nomicon. And then Randy screws some things up in the past, they make amends, and it has one of the best once-in-a-lifetime recurring characters. Plop Plop. Come on, guys, it's Plop Plop. And then the episode ends with the boys going back to the present, realize what they've done with the past, and they have to write the future. In my opinion, Season 2 is a step up in quality. There's more focus in action and storytelling, plus we get a new villain in this season, Evil Julian. Yeah, one of the characters I forgot to mention was that there is this wannabe goth called Julian, and after the first season finale, he gets this orb that makes people addicted to when they're near to it, and they can be controlled by the sorcerer to get it because he needs these like 9 orbs to get stronger. And so whenever characters are near the orb, except for Randy and Howard, like they obey the wizard's command to get the orb. And there's an episode where Randy like goes to this emo wannabe's birthday party, and then like I said, the emo becomes attached to it. And then the orb opens a portal, and then his wannabe emo personality like strips apart from his physical body, and now like the villain of the show is just that wannabe goth, but he was actually emo. Yeah, it's kind of confusing, but yeah, there's some good action in the show with the ghoul version of Julian. Season 2 has everything you wanted from Season 1 and more. More action, less reliance on potty humor, less Randy and Teresa moments. Wait, what? Less Randy and Teresa moments? No! And I can't wait to tell you the Season 2 finale. So, Season 2 has the big battle between McFist and the Sorcerer and Randy, but there's a problem. Howard is about to move out of Randy's neighborhood, and he doesn't want to leave his best friend, so he keeps it a secret so he doesn't want to hurt Randy's feelings. But it turns out he just moves to a house next to Randy, so they don't have to do it. And, wait, what's that? Is that a character? What do you mean by that? Oh no, don't tell me it ended on a cliffhanger, no! So, throughout the show, there is a character called the Creep, who gave Randy the Ninja Nomicon in the first place, and he can be seen as a background character in every single episode in the show. I'm not exaggerating. This suggests that the creators had a lot more imagined for Randy's story. Like even one of the creators put in a Twitter post that said, "Let's do it. Randy has like more worlds to explore." Like we were gonna have Season 3, but Disney, like always with their best performing animated shows, pulled the plug, and Season 3 of Randy Cunningham is done. Technically, while the show hasn't been renewed for a 3rd season, it hasn't been canceled yet. Like they're not making plans to make a 3rd season, but Disney hasn't officially announced its cancellation, you know? So But if you're interested, there is a petition online for a third season. And while I can't say that you shouldn't get your hopes up, don't lose it either. Because the more signatures the petition gets, the more likely we'll have to get a season 3. In conclusion, the show is funny, has great writing, has a huge cast, has a good love interest, expressive characters, and great animation. Oh, I also forgot to mention about in the behind the scenes sentence that Jonan Vasquez did the character designs in the show, and that's why the show kind of looks like Invader Zim to some people. Just want to let you know. Now, is there any reason this show should be talked about? From a cinematic and critical perception? No, I was just hoping you guys would watch the show after watching the video. If you have Disney Plus, please watch the show. It's not Owl House terms of amazing, but it is good enough. The show is fun and needs your attention, so yeah, watch it! I forgot to add that this show has some celebrity guest appearances, so stick around if you'd like to hear them. I also put footage of the actor's famous role next to the character so that you can get some understanding of who that character is if you don't know their name, you know? Alright, here we go. John Oliver.
Fire Marshal has some safety concerns, so hopscotch is off. Guess I'll just have to go with my backup plan. Climbing a rope! In moments like this.
Mr. Ponton, I believe you have a filter.
John Witherspoon.
Swords for the ninja my whole life. When used properly, a Ward Smith's signature sword is the most powerful weapon in the ninja's arsenal. This is all for show. Shoot, I bet you I could sneak a midget on the plane with a stick of dynamite up his ass.
David Ketchner.
Now we're talking.
Prom night, the last night of the year that a ninja wants to deal with a monster. Then some dweeb went and got himself stankified. I didn't make a choice. De-stank this guy and miss prom, or put him on ice and get back to the dance.
Time with this lady, Ron. You're a member of the Channel 4 news team.
That's a given. That's a given.
Bill Hader.
You're all a bunch of losers! You're a loser, and you're a loser.
Simon Pegg.
Sorry, force of habit.
Who's next?
Right. We take Pete's car, we drive over to Mum's, we go in, take care of Philip. I'm so sorry, Philip. Then we grab Mum, we go over to Liz's place, hole up, have a cup of tea.
Jennifer Tilly.
I dance with each of you, but I'm looking for the boy, who understands true beauty. That pig.
Rob Riggle.
By the power of my right arm, I'm holding my sword up!
No, you're not.
Yes! I am!
Oh my God. I'm so sorry, honey. I didn't mean that. You know that, right?
Steve Zahn.
What brings you here, Bromo Sapien?
Terry, I faxed you this morning!
Adam, dude, why didn't you tell me I got a fax, man? Ha! Guess who's the laugher now? Me! I'm the laugher! I'm the laughingest laugher that ever laughed! Ha ha!
Annie Potts.
That's the thing about stuff!
Hey, I'm smiling.
And what does that tell me about your cards?
That I like them?
Attaboy. Now, look at my face. Tell me what you see.
That you're old.
It's a good thing I love you.
Rob Paulson.
I will bring my video camera to document your cinema film. And I will bring the balls to hit Howard in the guts. And I will bring the guts. Minute segment. Move it along.
Robert Englund.
Jason Myers. No one knows what caused it.
Welcome to my nightmare.
Gilbert Gottfried.
Drunken ship be in a parade, cause it won't stay afloat. Get it? Afloat! Ha ha! Can't take it anymore. If I gotta choke down on...
Patrick Warburton.
Looks like it's Nacho Day. Sorry. Guess it was a little cheesy. He's the peasant who I saw leaving the city who disappeared into the crowd with Cusco in the back of his cart. He must have taken him back to his village, so if we find the village, we find him, and if we find him, we find Cusco. Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
Paul Rubin.
Principal, Todd Principal.
Ooh, he's got his job in his name. He must be really good at it.
Your old principal was deemed unfit.
Good morning,
Mr. Breakfast!